Verse 4 says, so he got up from the meal, took off his outer clothing, and wrapped a towel around his waist. I believe that it's a wonderful time going on at the table. But the text says, but he got up from the table. And saints, if we're truly going to wake up, we have to get up from the table. Let me tell you what the table is in our context. The table is the safe place of comfort and ease that does not challenge us to do any more than what we've always been doing. The safe place, y'all better hear me now. I know I'm talking right today because I'm talking to my own self. The safe place of comfort and ease that doesn't challenge us to do any more than we've been doing. And let me tell you why some of us won't get up from the table. It's because we are scared of what somebody's going to say. If we decide we're going to get up from that table, push the chair up, and go on about our business. But see, let me tell you what it takes now. If you're truly going to see something different spiritually, personally, and communally, you've got to be willing to listen to your naysayers. You've got to be willing to experience the cynics, the folks that are going to tell you you're going to fail. Because see, there's some folks that are going to tell you flat out you're going to fail. But then you have to also be willing to listen to the critics. They're not going to tell you you're not going to fail, but everything you do, they find something to nitpick. Anybody know some folks, they nitpick at every, you could get an A, they'll tell you you should have got an A++. Just critics of that. But let me tell you something. In order for things to take the kind of change and to turn the corners that we need, we have to be willing to do what Jesus told them to do in the Gospels. He said, you're going to have to take your net and launch out into the deep and let down your net. Because let me tell you something, there is transformation in the deep. There is turnaround in the deep. There is breakthrough in the deep. You'll see God work wonders in the deep. But in order, y'all better hear me, Temple, in order to truly go to the deep, you got to be willing to take the hurts and the blows and the pains that come with going to the deep. You got to be willing to listen to folk tell you crazy. You should have never done that in the first place. You've got to be willing to fail for it. Anybody ever fail for it? You launched out there, you didn't get it right the first time, but you said, I'm going back out there, because let me tell you something about the deep. When you launch out into the deep, God is in the deep. He will not abandon you. How many folks know what I'm talking about? You went out there and you thought you were by yourself, but you felt the very presence of God. But you got to be willing, because let me tell you something. You'll see God raise up an army of cheerleaders from a community of folks that you didn't even know knew your name. How many folks know what I'm talking about? Because see, sometimes we looking for the wrong folks to cheer us on. Sometimes God is going to work through some of the most unlikely people. But let me just tell you this. Some of us, we can't get up from the table because we've become so fascinated with the familiar that we don't even know we're stuck. We've become so fascinated with the familiar that we don't even know we're stuck. When we took the kids and some of the adults and went to see The Queen of Katwe, wonderful movie. If you haven't seen it, go see it. Wonderful movie. There was a quote in the movie that struck me in a way. It said, sometimes the place you are used to is not the place you belong. Sometimes the place that you're used to is not. Some of us have become so married to the familiar that we always talk about, I ain't never done it like that before. I ain't never seen it happen like that before. Let me serve notice that when it comes to God, his ways are not our ways. His thoughts are not our thoughts. As high as the heavens are from the earth, so are his ways from our ways, and our thoughts from our thoughts. Because if it be the case that man had to say so, some of us wouldn't be on the positions that we have, because we got standards that don't even agree with God's standard. God said, you know what, don't worry about that. I got favor. And how many folks have been recipients of the favor of God? Y'all better say something in here. You didn't really qualify for it, but God put his anointing on you and opened up a door. And let me serve notice for the one that God opens up the door for, but you're so busy caught in a backwards look, wondering what so-and-so who can't even help you with your light bill got to say. Worried about what somebody gonna think. They ain't even trying to get where you trying to get or do what you, but you too busy listening to the next time God opened up a door, you stand right in the doorway and start walking. And anybody who has anything to say about what God is doing in your life, let me tell you the words to give them. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. And if you came from the old school church, you can tell them this: the Lord watch between me and thee. Don't you miss the move of God. Worried about what somebody who ain't doing nothing with their life thinks or says about you. Because let me tell you something. You are a part of a royal priesthood. You are a part of a chosen generation. You are a part of a holy nation. And if God says he has something for you, he has something for you. Go get what God has for you. Make no apologies about what God has for you. And if somebody has something to say, you say you take that up with God.